When I was a little kid, I was drawn to skiing because my parents were both big skiers, and that was our family activity. That's what we did every weekend growing up, and it's been my life, really. It's been my lifestyle and the most fun thing that I know. I got a good taste of Colorado as a kid, which was nice because I realized that the mountains were a lot bigger out here, and as soon as I had the chance to sort of go out on my own, I moved to Colorado. Skiing is an evolution, and what you like when you're 10 is different than what you might enjoy when you're 25 or what you might enjoy when you're 55. There's a lot of things that you can do on skis. So when I was little, I loved racing, and as I got older in life, I loved jumping off cliffs. And more recently, I've been drawn to challenges in bigger mountains, so more ski mountaineering things. I'd say the most popular question people ask me now is, why did you choose to climb and ski all the 14ers? Like, what was the spark or the inspiration for that? And it really was an epiphany. It came from a moment where I was out on a long mountain bike ride by myself in the fall of 2005. And I was thinking to myself about my goals for the coming season. I was looking for a new challenge, and the more I thought about that, the more I was like, wow, what could I do here in Colorado that would sort of keep me around the state a little more? And the word 14ers just popped into my head literally like that. And I thought, oh, 14ers. Okay, I know a lot about the 14ers. I've climbed a lot of them. I've skied some. I wonder if I could try to ski them all in less than a year. And I could sit here for 10 hours and tell you a story about every single 14er because they were all that interesting. But some of my fondest memories are the ones where I was just with great friends. A Pyramid Peak over by Aspen was really great. It hadn't been skied down the east face in 26 years. It had only been skied once before, and it was in 1978 by Chris Landry. And the peak, or the route, sat there for 26 years and basically developed a fierce reputation because nobody did it. And so the sense of accomplishment and reward for getting that descent done with two great friends, Ted and Neil, was a really powerful experience. A few days later, Neil Beitelman and I went on to do the first descent of the east face of Capitol Peak. And while that was the most dangerous and the scariest descent of the project, it's also really rewarding. This 60-degree face for thousands of feet with huge exposure at the bottom, no fall zone, really dangerous, but we skied it safely and got it done. When I got down to the bottom of Longs Peak on January 19th, at about 2 in the afternoon, ski descent number 54, I had a pretty serious upwelling of emotion, much like maybe crossing the finish line of the Tour de France in Paris wearing the yellow jersey. But boy, when I got to the bottom of that last descent, it was a very, very powerful, emotional feeling of satisfaction. Nobody has ever gone out into the 14ers and documented them when they're covered with snow, which is like 8 or 9 months out of the year. So as I climbed and skied each peak, I right afterwards would write about that experience. And we photographed the peak, myself and my partners, really with the intent of trying to capture the best imagery possible. And then I spent all summer sort of collaborating or bringing together all of that information into the book that we now have called Ski the 14ers. And it's meant to give people insight through the amazing photography and the writing as to what these mountains are like when they're covered with snow. I like hiking up mountains, but I hate hiking down. I'd rather ski down. So the book gives us a nice view into what it's like to climb and ski these peaks. You know, climbing mountains is like life itself. It's challenging. You know, you hear the cliches, life is an uphill battle. You got to be humble out there in the mountains, like I think you do in life as well, you know. And I think with that humble, open mindset, usually good things happen.